There's a lot of speculation that President-elect Trump wants his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, to be one of his closest advisors, if anti-nepotism laws don't prevent it. Now, Kushner's married to Ivanka, who's helping control her dad's business.
Yeah.
So, isn't this kind of giving Kushner too much access to both sides now?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think so. The anti-nepotism law is there for a reason, and it's a federal law, and it's because you don't want to start having a dictatorship. You don't want to start having a royal family, that kind of thing. And I think what's also difficult, or could be difficult, is if he is married to Ivanka, and Ivanka is running the Trump organization, then certainly there's some sort of conflict of interest there. There's a business interest, now there's a governmental interest. What if somebody decides to stay, a foreign dignitary stays at the Trump Hotel in Washington, D.C., because they want to sort of inure themselves to the administration? I mean, there are all sorts of problems. And even if there wasn't a law, what about the appearance of impropriety?
Well, what about the paper? He runs the New York Observer.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit a conflict of interest right there.
Yeah.
It would be like if Trump were involved with the New York Times. We wouldn't allow that. This is a newspaper.
Well, and you've also got this sense of entitlement with this particular, and reading more about him all along the way, from getting into Harvard but not really having good grades. You have to wonder how you get into an institution like Harvard.
Well,
So
his
so
father
many
gave a couple $1 million.
Yeah, like I just don't like the idea that all the way along, every job and every title he's had on his resume was given to him out of having people that could give that to him. So I just...
Isn't that exactly what the Trump voters voted against? Somebody who was entitled in that way? They was pissed off about that?
Yeah, well, if that's the case, this guy, Jared Kushner, is not going to be the one they want there, but...
Just a little bit about him. Some things that I do see as positive from Kushner. He essentially, reports are that he's the one who blocked Chris Christie from being involved in the way that he was instrumental in getting foreign.
That's like
But that was a
Bob
personal
stuff.
grudge.
No, I know, but
you mess with my father.
Well, Chris Christie had a lot. You know what?
You will not have a job here.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out
He's
how
embroiled in scandal, though. You know?
But it also means he holds a grudge. And do we want someone, I mean, advising
how
the
do you
president?
physically block Chris Christie? That's what I want to know.
Joy!
Let me get the joke in.
No, but some other things. He was instrumental in getting Corey Lewandowski fired, who I think Corey Lewandowski was a disaster. He persuaded Trump to reconsider naming Steve Bannon as chief of staff. So I think, I mean, this is a guy who was a CEO of a company at a very young age, at the age of 27. He doesn't have political experience, but he does have a lot of business savvy. And I think this idea...
We have that already, don't we, in Donald Trump?
Well, but that's who
Someone
he's going to
with no
surround
political
himself with.
experience.
But has business savvy.
We
We
can't
got that.
prevent, even, let's say this guy doesn't get an official appointment. You essentially can't prevent Donald Trump from picking up the phone and unofficially making Kushner an advisor and saying,
he'll
what do you
definitely
think
be
about
that,
this? Or what do you
probably.
think
Yeah,
about
but he
that?
shouldn't have a clearance then. He's going to get
Security
security
clearance?
clearance. Yeah.
You worried about security clearance? You weren't worried about Hillary Clinton's security
I was
clearance?
worried about
this
that
guy's
too,
security
but this
clearance?
guy was worse, okay? I was worried about that too.
But what about the lack of experience? I mean, I don't know any... I mean, think about it. Who would go to a doctor that doesn't have a medical degree and say, you can operate on me?
I'm sorry,
Like,
politics is different.
Who would do that?
No.
So why is someone without any political experience being advised by someone that has no political experience?
What's missing in politics is common sense. I would rather have a small business owner who has hired and fired workers, who has seen the impact of minimum wage laws, who
Being
has
the president?
I would rather have that person as an Look, there are people out there that believe if you open the telephone book and pick out a random name, that person will have a lot more common sense than your average person in D.C. And sometimes I agree
Next
with
time
that.
you need surgery, come to me.
Surgery is different.
Come to me.
Surgery
I'll do
is
a good
different.
job. I'm married to a doctor,
Surgery
and
is
so I have a lot of
different.
experience.
Surgery is a tax
here's the-
policy. It's very different.
He's got...
It's funny.
he's got
surgery.
Well, in a way, maybe it is. I don't know.
It's possibly less
Look,
important.
there are people when you speak that clamor for you to run for president, and there's a reason for that.
Yes,
because you talk
but
common sense.
But here's the difference. When I speak, at least you know that I've actually looked stuff up. So I understand, you know, so people think I might be more aware. They also know that I've had a wide variety of lives. And so they think maybe I know some stuff. But when you have someone who doesn't seem to do the homework, who doesn't seem to have any idea how things actually run.
I'm talking about Trump, not Kushner. Right? Trump.
Well, I'm talking about both of them because I don't know. I can only tell you what I've seen. And, you know, when you bring up Hillary, I think to myself, you know what? She may not have been the best candidate for people, but I know she knew what she was doing.
Yep.
I don't.
Well, then you haven't done your homework.
Oh, I've done my homework.
No, you haven't done your you haven't done your homework.
If she knew what she was doing, though, she would have known that those documents that were labeled confidential, she was briefed on that.
Let me explain something to you.
I know you can
keep bring those emails up as much as you want. She wasn't hacked. Everybody else was. That's all I'm saying.
We don't know that.
Well, we do know. Now, come on. But that's not my point. My point is not talking about Hillary. My point is talking about Donald. And when I see that he is not prepared, when I see 60 Minutes and I see that he doesn't know things that he should know, only because he's running. Just look like you know what you're going to do. I don't know anything about Jared Kushner. I don't know anything about it. I know he's married to his daughter. But I do want, I mean, there are a lot of people who come into politics who don't have a lot of political experience, you know, and sometimes that's great. But they surround themselves with people who do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's what
he's got a
different.
and so, you know, I don't mind that as long as the people you're surrounding yourself with are looking to take care of all of us and not just them.
Well, he looks like
Yeah.
he's making a few decisions that might be, you know, he's got this Nikki Haley possibility.
Which is great,
Reince Priebus. These are real, you know, politicians. By the way, are you covering up a hickey or what?
No. First of all,
I thought that.
let me tell you. You don't know me if you think I would cover up a hickey. I would be wearing that loud and proud if I had a hickey on my head. So.
Oh, my Lord.